Hi everyone! Now that we have gone through how to apply the individual properties, let's solve some examples that combines the usage of various properties together. In example 7, the obvious step to take first is to expand the brackets and simplify both sides individually. Using the subtraction property, we group x to the left of the inequality by subtracting 5x on both sides, eliminating 5x from the right. Next, we use the division property for negative c, dividing both sides by negative 4 to get the solution of x smaller or equals to 1/4. Notice that the inequality signs have switched. Now, let's go back to this step here in this example. We can also think of doing it like how we solve algebraic equations by bringing terms over the equal sign. Just that in this case, we are dealing with an inequality sign. The first step from here then can be to bring all the terms of x over to the left and the numbers to the right, like this. Simplifying, we get negative 4x greater or equals to negative 1. And employing property 4b, we get x smaller or equals to 1/4. In example 8, firstly, let's get rid of the fractions by multiplying both sides by the lowest common multiple of the two denominators. In this case, that would be 12. This is done by employing property 3a, giving us this. As of the previous example, we will expand the brackets and simplify both sides individually. Using the subtraction property, we subtract 3x from both sides of the inequality to group all x terms on the left side, giving us 5x minus 24 smaller or equals to 6. We then employ addition property by adding 24 on both sides to get 5x smaller or equals to 30. Lastly, we employ the division property 4a for positive c by dividing both sides by 5, giving us x smaller or equals to 6 as the solution. Now, that method was for us to get familiarized with the properties to understand how things work by first principles. Mathematics is ultimately about speed and accuracy, being logical and efficient in your methods. Hence, the following is a more common yet efficient way of solving these kinds of questions. Starting from here, we multiply both sides of the inequalities by 12 to remove the fractions as we did earlier and simplify. At this point, instead of using the properties, simply think of it as rearranging and grouping the terms with x on the left and the numbers on the right. Any terms that goes across the inequality sign has to change signs from positive to negative and vice versa. Then, divide both sides by 5, giving us x smaller or equals to 6 as the solution. This approach will be used for subsequent examples. For example 9, this is a typical algebraic fraction inequality question set to complicate the evaluation steps. However, we just need to remember that the standard approach is to, number 1, combine the fractions, number 2, cross-multiply to remove the fractional expression, number 3, expand the brackets and simplify the terms, number 4, solve the inequality. This applies to solving equations involving algebraic fractions too. So, let's combine the fractions first. We will multiply each term's denominator by the other denominator and do the same for its numerator. That makes both fractions go under a common denominator, giving us this. Then, we cross-multiply 6 over to 1 and expand the brackets on the left side, and rearrange the terms to solve for x. We will get rid of the minus sign by bringing it across the greater than sign. To do so is the same as multiplying both sides by -1 using property 3b. So, the greater than sign needs to switch to smaller than sign, giving us x smaller than -13 as the solution. Well, I hope this video gives you an idea of how to solve some standard inequalities question. The questions are not very complex, but certain amount of evaluation is still required. Let's wrap this segment up quickly by discussing a few important points. I'll see you in the next video.